Pakistan's political scenario is rapidly heading towards a chaotic climax, revealing a system on the brink of collapse, fueled by intense power struggles, strategic miscalculations, and deep rooted personal vendettas. At the heart of this unfolding drama is the controversial 27th Amendment, symbolizing a desperate attempt to legitimize absolute control, with severe implications for the nation's fragile federation. Welcome to Fourth Pillar Post English, weekly analysis around Pakistani power politics. Currently, a Cold War-like situation has engulfed the corridors of power. This isn't a mere political tug-of-war. It's a clash that could either result in a fragile compromise or escalate into catastrophic turmoil. The establishment, seemingly driven solely by an insatiable thirst for power, is creating unnecessary confusion. The consequences of such recklessness are evident. People struggling to survive economically, while the elite remain fixated on their hunger for dominance. The puzzling contradiction here is evident. If the establishment truly believes that Imran Khan's PTI has been neutralized and public support has swung back to its favor, why is there a frantic pursuit for total control? The answer is rooted in pure greed and an insatiable appetite for authority. International dynamics further complicate this scenario. Despite high-profile interactions with global powers like the US, where General Muni's recent meeting with Trump created a deceptive sense of relevance, Pakistan remains vulnerable to geopolitical demands it cannot realistically fulfill. Recognizing Israel, maintaining checks on Iran, and distancing itself from China are demands Pakistan simply cannot afford to meet, while India is not neutralized yet, even after Trump's rampant campaign against Modi. The repercussions of Pakistan's strained alignment with the US are already surfacing domestically. Iran-India proxy influence is amplifying pressures, especially visible in Balochistan's recent unrest. The core issue remains: what tangible benefits will Pakistan derive from capitulating to Americans' demands? The establishment's desperation seems aimed solely at securing short-term support to protect personal egos and internal power structures, rather than national interests. Given these complex international pressures, total control through 27th Amendment appears neither sustainable nor logically feasible. Even with absolute power, Pakistan's establishment cannot satisfy international demands without provoking severe domestic backlashes. This contradiction highlights the establishment's flawed strategy, aiming to reclaim lost control before external pressures intensifies further. This is the total strategy. The proposed 27th Amendment controversially includes centralizing control over agriculture, tourism, minerals, and maybe water. This ambition directly threatens provincial autonomy, challenging foundational aspects like NFC award, water distribution, potentially igniting severe federal-provincial tensions. Pakistan People's Party, historically sensitive about provincial autonomy, finds itself at a crossroads. Zardari, under immense pressure, may momentarily submit, but the likelihood of his sustained cooperation on deeper issues remains slim. Political maneuvers like transforming frontier constabulary into federal force underscores the establishment's paranoia about losing control or the resistance to come. A measure lacking logic or necessity, but driven entirely by political expediency. On the ground, at the heart of Pakistan, Punjab, historically an establishment-friendly province, is now witnessing a bizarre developments with the creation of numerous law enforcement agencies who are only responsible for political maneuvering, nothing else, under obviously questionable mandates, further straining limited financial resources of Pakistan. These irrational policy decisions underscores internal panic despite the facade of control. Within PTI, confusion reigns supreme, while Imran Khan remains steadfastly confrontational. Party, on the other hand, fragmentation is going on there. It's under external pressures and internal opportunism. That's what is going on in PTI. Figures like Gandapur symbolize this dilemma, negotiating precariously between genuine resistance and establishment accommodation. Is going between both. Recent events in Lahore, compromised list of senators, and the seat adjustment with opposition suggest calculated moves or defensive moves from PTI. It can be both, possibly hinting at secretive terms negotiated with the establishment or plainly scared of the control establishment has right now over the system. Though Imran Khan's aggressive stance indicates a broader game at play, irrelevant of the party policies and the leaders. The PTI's internal contradictions, openly resisting establishment dominance while silently negotiating seat adjustments and compromises, highlights the party's strategic confusion. Imran Khan's insistence on confrontation contrasts sharply with the pragmatic maneuvers within the PTI or within the party ranks, setting the stage for potential internal fractures, which is evident with the party workers threatening the party leaders. The establishment's maneuvering around the 27th Amendment and hybrid governance model further complicates this matter. While the military constitutional role is being legitimized, the potential economic exploitation of mineral resources for external appeasement risks provincial unrest, notably in resource-rich provinces like Balochistan and KPK. While in Sindh, People's Party's compliance under pressure may temporarily mitigate the resistance, but will inevitably lead to intense political or public backlash from all the small provinces, especially in KPK. The establishment's miscalculations could inadvertently fuel separatist sentiments. They are on the verge of that. Any attempt to forcibly altering government structures, particularly involving former tribal areas, could inadvertently strengthen extremist narratives like TTP claiming that FATA is separate from KPK and you're doing the same thing. You're turning regional unrest into broader insurgencies. These maneuvers, combined with growing geopolitical instability, underlying Pakistan's increasing vulnerabilities, especially in terms of India and the proxy wars and Iran. Internationally, relations remain precarious. Trump's ambiguous diplomatic strategies, particularly involving Iran and Israel, place Pakistan in an awkward position, intensified by recent developments regarding the Iranian ambassador controversy. Congressional hearings, potential sanctions exacerbate Pakistan's geopolitical vulnerabilities, signaling America's shifting stance and willingness to exploit the weakness of few in Pakistani establishment. Thus, Pakistan's political elites find themselves cornered. Their reckless pursuit for power and short-sighted geopolitical strategies have created an unstable domestic environment ripe for public backlash. Amid this chaos, Imran Khan remains defiant, strategically positioned to leverage public discontent despite internal PTI struggles. Ultimately, the current trajectory highlights the urgent need for introspection within establishment, I must say. Pakistan's political players and those in establishment must realize that personal ambitions and short-sighted strategies will inevitably backfire, causing irreversible damage without immediate and sincere course corrections. Prioritizing national interest over individual agendas, the nation risks descending into profound instability, where political chaos could morph into widespread unrest and lasting fragmentation.